Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Tochi Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
The leader of the Sultan's Outriders draws his scimitar and holds it high and orders his men to pursue. Don't let them escape. Don't let them alert the others. Kill them all. And the 6 horsemen come barreling down on you from the heights of the desert down into the gully where you have secured your kills of the Oryx. All right, so we are going to move into a skirmish here. There are going to be two groups of souls of adversaries. One is going to be melee focused. The other one is going to be ranged focused. To start with, Tomo, who is riding a little bit more towards the north with Hayate, just kind of checking things out, is how she noticed the riders when they first started. So she is located up there with Hayate. Because of the way that they are riding on the horseback, Hayate with his Yari will have a +1 to TN for any attack actions he makes while on horseback, while she's kind of in charge of guiding it. Meanwhile, if she wants to somehow try to manage an attack between controlling the horse and fighting with Hayate behind her, we'll get a +2 to any TNs that she tries to make. Meanwhile, you all are a little bit farther to the south, where you guys had cornered the Oryx and made your shots, going over your kills before these riders came into attack. The riders have kind of come galloping forth. And to start with, they will be at range 3 to Tomo and range 4 to all of you. Meanwhile, to get out of this kind of box canyon in the desert, you have to make it towards the east, back towards the Unicorn Camp, and that will be at range 6 from you.
All right. We were all hunting Oryx. Are we all still armed with bows?
Absolutely. I mean, maybe you put it over the shoulder real quick to kind of like inspect the kill and whatnot, but it's close enough nearby that it's either an extra water action, free water action to pull it back off of your shoulder or to arm yourself again. But I'm fine with you guys having it at the ready, as it were, and still ready to shoot, because I've seen plenty of hunters go and inspect their kills with their rifle over their knee and still in hand. So yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. To note, right now, you guys are in open terrain. As you near the space right here, this will be confined because you have to kind of funnel yourself through some of these rock formations. There is some elevated terrain from place to place along the canyon that you can make use of if you can get up that high. Although, again, you're probably going to want to run and make it back to the Unicorn Camp to let them know that these Outriders are here. There is also some rough terrain. If you find yourselves kind of in some of the loose rock rubble formations, or even into some of the desert foliage, that can count as kind of a difficult terrain. It will slow you up. It'll take multiple actions to move through, but it can also count as obscuring if you can get yourself down in it and you want to try and take some shots from hiding behind foliage or rocks and things like that. I think that's most of it. If anyone makes a water check for their assessment, they're free to add in some terrain details because I like that idea better than just assessing what is out there, because you should already kind of know what the terrain looks like just by looking at it, not by spending ops for it. I much prefer the idea of you guys being able to create new and interesting things. So we're gonna work with that. Does anyone have any other questions about the initial setup as I have described it?
Just to confirm, the bows that we have, they're just going to be considered the horse bows, correct?
They are Daikyu unless you selected a Shinjo horsebow specifically.
Okay. It'd be Daiki then.
Mm-hmm. So what you're more than likely familiar with, and they had them on hand. Yeah, you more than likely you're using Daikyu. So I think that's what I assigned to Doji Gen, and if you just followed suit, then there you go. Unless you wanted to fight with a unicorn-style weapon, which you are more than welcome to try out.
No, I am fine with what they gave me.
Fair enough. Okay. We are moving between scenes, so if you have strife or fatigue over half, you can go ahead and reset to half. And with that, we are going to do the assessment check. So with this, you're going to make a TN1 tactics check for initiative. You're going to... I don't necessarily think that this is like a full-on ambush, so I'm going to allow focus and not just vigilance to be rolled here. I think that's fair. I think Tomo spotted them and gave a yell before they started charging and everything like that. So I think I'm going to give you guys focus instead of vigilance for this. All right, so the enemy riders look like they are not guards. These are now soldiers that you are up against. And these soldiers in particular seem to be fairly lightly armed and armored. They are more of, looks like to be some sort of scouting group, hence why the term Outriders is kind of coming directly to mind, especially for Tomo. And that these scouts are probably the vanguard of a pursuing Sultanate army looking to track you down and find out where the unicorn caravan is, and trying to apprehend it. So I think the more of the scouts you can dispatch probably means the less information that is going to be passed back to the Caliph's forces if you decide to stand and fight. But even still, again, this is now a new level of threat and danger, as these are now soldiers and not just guards and thugs. All right, so with their initiatives, they wind up with a 9 and an 8, a 9 for the melee Outriders and an 8 for the ranged Outriders. They both turn off each other's disadvantage by Earth Ops for the scene, so they are not acting in the hot-headed way that you'd think soldiers might normally behave and be ready to like just let loose and get in there to let blood. That these guys are acting in a very regimented and soldierly manner, as it were. Yeah, to describe it as well as I can. The lead group is also going to turn off any disadvantages for terrain, so they're going to do their best to be able to kind of skip over rocks and rough terrain and get to you guys as quickly as they can. They are in neutral terrain at the moment. Again, they are 3 range bands away from Tomo and 4 range bands away from the rest of you. That is their initiatives. Could I hear what the rest of you got as far as initiative and ops go? Let's go ahead and start with Doji Gen.
For Doji Gen, I rolled and ended up with 3 successes. So that gives me, with my focus, a total initiative of 10 and 2 opportunities. I'd like to, and I was rolling in water. I'd like to use my opportunities to say that the unicorn encampment maybe has a guard, that it's guarded on the outside of it. And so on an area of high ground of your choice, of course, Mr. DM, right near the unicorn camp, there is at least 1 guard keeping watch over the desert to see if anybody threatening is nearby. Sound okay?
I think that is an excellent use of a narrative water op. Yeah, let's go ahead and place a Shinjo scout up on kind of a rocky outcropping, trying to keep a high vantage. They'll have elevated terrain, and they are trying to keep an eye out for things. So I think if anyone really makes it through the constricting terrain and or gets up on any of the elevated terrain, they're probably going to have a chance to see them and make a chance to evaluate the situation and who's who, and yeah, you might have some reinforcements that way. I think that's an excellent water usage. All right, moving on down to Ide Minato.
Minato also rolled in water. We got 3 successes and no opportunities, so they will be going at initiative 10.
Got it. Sounds good. Again, we have our Outriders at 9 and 8. Hayate is also going to be going at 8, and with a part of what has kind of come to a bit of a almost a meme or a gag between the two of them. Hayate looks back towards Richi and couches the spear under his shoulder and kind of braces it in a way that a good mounted samurai would, even though he's kind of shaky and doesn't have the placement perfect because he's never really fought from horseback before, being a forest boy. But he kind of gives Richi a reassuring smile and nod from distance that he's got this and he can help hold things off until Richi can get in position and make the decisive strike. And so we're going to go ahead and knock 2 strife off of Richi there with an Earth Hop. Yeah. And then Richi, we're also going at 8, but because you have the highest honor, you are going last in the 8 slot. So tell me about your initiative here.
Yep. So as mentioned, I have an 8. I only rolled 2 successes on mine. I also got 2 strife and 2 opportunities, also rolling in water. So with that, the 2 strife knocked off by Hayate. Additionally, with my own op of knocking down some more strife, I have a net loss of 2 strife for the roll, which is good. And then for my other opportunity, I would like to state that, or at least I will assess the area around me is a bit of a game trail. And so I would like to make at least the immediate area open terrain.
I think that's a great one. Yeah, you caught these orcs in their standard path where they make the way from one bit of water feasting on vegetation to the next. And yeah, you got them trapped over here, but there is definitely a game trail worn through the rough desert here that you've started to notice, and you can make use of open terrain. For reference, neutral terrain is nothing, but open terrain gives you all of those same benefits, but also a +1 TN or -1 TN to movement maneuver actions. Or I believe it's movement type actions, not always just the maneuver action.
Correct. It is movement action checks as a whole.
Yep. Excellent. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's great. A good use of it to spot a game trail and turn that into open. All right. Next, we have Utaku Tomo, who the Hayate is riding behind. She assesses in water, and she gets an initiative of 7. And lastly, we have Sueno.
All right. Sueno has 1 success and 2 opportunities. She is rolling in Earth. That gives her total initiative 6 with focus. And she's going to use one of her Earth opportunities to negate Gen's disadvantaged of damaged constitution that she has managed to pick up in Alzuira. And she'll use the other one to negate some strife off of that roll.
That's excellent. Yeah, no, being able to turn off disadvantages for the scene with an Earth Hop is incredibly powerful, and I'm a big fan. So yeah, she kind of gives you a some sort of reassuring pat on the back or something like that, or maybe an extra help up back into the saddle, and it kind of just helps set yourself somehow your body however you want to try and imagine the poison has ravaged you over the course of the last couple months. But she does something, whether it's simply a reassurance or maybe handing you a quick something to chew on, be it a bit of cot or some other medicinal to kind of staunch you or fortify you for what's about to come. Yeah, I like that. Turns off your damaged constitution.
I think what she'll do is she was handing me a water bottle anyway because we were, going to stock the prey. So Gen is able to get a quick drink, which helps deal with this heat. So
There you go. Always hydrate. Yeah. All right. So I think that sets the scene for where we are all at. With that, we're going to go ahead and move to initiative 10. I just want to make sure. Again, you are more honorable than Minato. I just wanted that. I made an assumption. I just want to
Probably.
check. Yeah.
uh,
I just
I've
want to
got
check to make
honor
sure.
45.
Yeah.
Yes.
so you switch that around.
Mhm. I should switch that around. Yeah, actually, Minato will be going first. Okay. So, yeah, Minato, I'm sorry. You get to go first.
Sort of seizing the initiative, Minato is going to call out to everyone to put their heels to their horses and to make for the rock formations that are up ahead of them, where the ground starts to rise. It's um, probably the most difficult part of the terrain, but he, having passed through here already, it will be difficult for the soldiers to sort of fight in formation, and the rock overhangs will sort of block the archers as they fire upon him. He's going to use slippery maneuvers, which
Oh,
will
nice.
help us move towards it, and once we're in it, it will count as obscuring terrain.
That is good. I like that Shuji a lot. All right. So just to make certain, you are targeting the confining terrain here with the rock. Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure certain. All right. So what is the TN of this technique?
It's a water command roll with a TN of 2.
There we go.
All right. I succeeded at the roll. I got 2 successes, 1 opportunity, and 1 strife.
And how do you want to spend your opportunity here?
There's a unique opportunity you can use through the technique that once we're in the area around those rocks, when we benefit from the obscuring terrain, it will increase the TN to attack us by 2 instead of just 1.
Nice. That is excellent.
And everyone also gets to move 1 range band towards it.
Oh, and that's immediate?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Yeah, that's
part of the
excellent.
switching.
How big is the how big is the field of obscuring terrain that it creates?
It's just, I think, around that piece of terrain. I pick a piece of terrain, and once we're sort of, quote, inside that terrain, we have the obscuring quality.
Got
So
it.
probably
Okay,
when we are making our push through that, but that will also,
yeah.
it's the most confining part, so it might also be the part where we bottleneck, so having
Yeah.
additional cover is not bad.
Anyways, yes, anyone who is kind of touching is effectively around this area will get the obscuring terrain as well as the confining terrain tags, and it'll be with the enhanced version that you have, which makes it a +2 TN to attack instead of +1 to attack for obscuring terrain. Excellent. And to note, anyone if you are in obscuring terrain, no one can see you if they are beyond 2 range bands. So also within the long distances that we're using with a lot of the archery stuff, they still got to get pretty close to you to spot you in obscuring. So if you want to take advantage of that, remember that as well going forward. All right, so now everyone can move free 1 range band. Remember that a free range band is like 3 feet. It's not a whole lot, so it's kind of like moving that far. So yeah, like I'm gonna move Sueno a little bit farther over. Yeah, it kind of helps when you're a little in closer confines. When you're dealing at the ranges that we're at, the 1 range band doesn't help a whole lot, but still, it's something. Okay.
It's not me gaining strife for shooting people.
Yep,
Well,
absolutely. All right, so that takes us out of Minato's action, and we can move into Doji again.
I will continue to stay in water stance. I will use my free action to close 1 range band towards an area that's kind of in between Shinjo Tomo and Hayate, headed towards the unicorn encampment. And I'd like to use my unrolled water action to do the same thing to close another range band in that direction.
All right. Excellent.
And then I would like to lift my bow and take a shot from horseback towards one of these riders, preferably one with a bow if I can reach one.
Yeah, you can. They're both within the range band of 4 at the moment. And there's nothing obscuring either of them or anything like that. No adjustments to the TN. So yeah, absolutely, go for it. TN2.
TN2. Okay, I rolled and got 5 successes and 3 strife on that roll.
All right, that'll definitely pin one pretty well. All right, so 5 successes, you say. That'll make it a total of +3 to the damage, which will be 9. Let's take a look at them here. So they have armor 3, and so they'll take a piece of that off. So that'll make it 6, and got it. All right.
Still a good start.
Oh no, absolutely. 6 is a damn fine start. All right, so yeah, 6 damage onto one of the horse archers. All right, moving along. We go to the melee outriders are going to have to try and close distance. So they going to take the maneuver action. All right, so the Outriders got 4 successes, and then because they are mounted, they'll add an extra 3 to that to make it a total of 7. So you get 2 range bands for making TN2, and then 1 for every 2 additional. So 3 and 4. They'll move 4 range bands. So they are going to swarm Tomo and Hayate. However, that is going to be their action. They stay in Earth stance, and with these Earth ops, how do they want to spend them? 1 to negate the strife, and 2 Earth ops. Give me a moment. Oh, to lower crits by 2. And then they'll just kind of move to totally surround with their extra 1 range band. All right, that is them. And then after the melee outriders comes the ranged outriders. And they just kind of trot forward a little bit and are going to make a shot at again fired at them, and they've got a straight shot again. They will fire back at. They will return fire again. And they will stay in Earth for this. All right. So they succeed with 3 successes and 2 ops, and they are going to use that to crit. I think Shinjo Horsebow would be the closest equivalent for them. There we go. Horsebow. Range 4, and it has a deadliness of 5 and a damage of 4. So they do 5 fatigue with the strike, followed up by a deadliness 5 crit that you have to resist.
Okay.
And luckily your damage constitution is turned off, so I can't key it.
All right. Okay, on the resist crit, I rolled 4 successes on my fitness check.
Okay, so that'll take the crit from 5 to 1,
And-
which is going to be damaged armor.
And then I spend the one opportunity to basically negate the strife on this check.
Got it. So you'll reduce your strife by 2, and then you'll gain 2 afterwards because you're in water. Got it. Sounds good. Now, I believe you were armor because you spent some time, kind of during your last bit of downtime action, doing some sewing and reinforcing your traveling clothes that you have durable.
Yes, I do.
Got it. So you take no armor damage this time around. The arrow kind of catches you, kind of maybe along the shoulder or the arm, but then passes through without tearing anything more than just putting a hole through it, so that it encumber or hamper you in any way, or by lowering its protective qualities. But also, you took how much fatigue? Because this is normally what for damage? I forgot. It was normally 4, 5, and you had a resist of 2, so you took 3 fatigue, correct? Excellent.
Right. Yep, that sounds right.
Cool. Just making sure we had it all on the up and up there, and had it all figured out. Which leads us to Hayate now. Hayate now seeing that he and his recently object of enthrallment have been surrounded by enemy soldiers. He is going to do his best to kind of fight them off from where he's at. It's a bit tough, but he's going to. You know what? He is going to set up Iron Forest and set up an area within range 2 of he and Tomo, and just say anyone who comes in here and tries to take actions and keep strife will take damage. I think that's the best use of what he can do at this range, because otherwise he's at range 1 to 0 of these horsemen, and a polearm isn't going to do a whole lot at that range. So yeah, we'll have him set up that. I don't think that's oh no, it is. It's an opportunity on an attack action. Oof. In that case, he is going to just pass an assist to Tomo. There's not a whole lot he can do at this range with the polearm. All right.
I make a suggestion. I
You
believe it's
can.
an opportunity on an attack action. Doesn't mean you have to actually succeed at the action.
That's true. It can be. It could be a garbage thing, even if it's like a TN5 action. He can still just keep one op to set up Iron Forest. Thank you. That's an excellent idea. So, but then it comes back to the general rule of L5R. Can you make yes, you can attempt an action even if it's out of range, because the opportunities might change things. So he can still attempt the action even though it'll auto fail when it checks for success or not. All right, cool. In that case, he can do this. All right, and then let's just check Iron Forest to make certain that it's only 1, or if it could be used multiple times. Opportunity plus. Okay, yeah, he's going to use all 3 opportunities on it. The area in range of your opening counts as dangerous terrain for 1 target of your actions. The melee Outriders. When the affected character attempts to move closer to you, they must make a TN4 fitness check. If they fail, they cannot advance. This effect persists until the end of your next turn. Okay. Oh, you can select multiple people with it, so he doesn't need to do all 3. He's gonna reduce 2 strife off of Doji again, and then he will increase the lower the severity of a crit by 2 for the next hit that hits him. All right. From Hayate, we go to Ricci.
All right. So for what Ricci will do is staying in water stance. He will go ahead and draw his katana in one hand. And so Ricci will also then shout out to Tomo and Hayate and say, "Get back to the caravan. We'll handle these savages." And so I'm basically just telling them to go. And I want to put a little bit of emphasis behind it, so I'll throw a command check if I have to.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that they don't try to be heroes. They just need to go. Because
Okay.
Tomo's going to have a hard enough time fighting, and Hayate's already struggling. So I just want to go ahead and get them out of the way while we start things setting up.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and all right, I'll give you 2 options. You can stake some honor on saving them and taking on the conflict yourself, provided you're not incapacitated and whatnot. You should be all right. Or I can let you, and that way you don't have to check for it. Or you can go ahead and do a command check for me and get them to understand the severity of the situation and that they need to get out of there.
Ooh. Can I do both?
You absolutely can. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'll put some honor on this command check.
Okay.
Is basically what I want to do here. So I'll roll my command of 3, my water of 4, and what would be my TN? I guess it would be their vigilance.
It could be their vigilance. I mean, I guess it's kind of like trying to decide what is their fighting spirit level, kind of like, what is their need to stay in the fight versus not. Is that still vigilance or not? Or would it be like trying to break their focus?
Well, either way, I think that I might have a little bit more status over Tomo, so I'll at least get a TN reduction.
As a persuade, I kind of like that idea. All right, let me set it up this way. I'm gonna do this as a hidden TN from you though, so you'll get a void point if you want, or I can tell you the TN if you'd like.
I have a feeling I'm gonna need the void points, so I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, you just might if you're telling 2 of your fighters to get out of here. All right, Ricci. So how did your command check go?
So yeah, with the command check, I rolled like a rock star, and I got a grand total of 5 successes, 1 opportunity, and 3 strife.
How do you think the strife is manifesting at this point?
Oh, the strife, it is very much Ricci starting to get back into the flow of things. He really hasn't had a chance to do a lot of command style of just rhetoric in general. So this is starting to really just fill him with that Rokugani pride of being able to command samurai and the thrill of battle. Exactly.
There you go. Positive strife. I love it. Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds good. You definitely succeeded. The TN, you hit it with with 2 bonus successes. So you have really given the command authority voice to Rokugani samurai who, when they hear that clipped tones and direct orders, they understand that they are to follow through with them. You might not necessarily be in their chain of command, but they understand that tone and that inflection.
Yep. I don't need no guff. Just go do your orders.
So yes, you got some bonuses for staking honor and whatnot. So you staked 5 honor. If you come through and you're able to defeat these forces, then you will gain 5 additional honor. And if somehow they overpower you, you will lose that honor.
Understandable. And with that, I have my 1 opportunity. I'd like to use the opportunity to basically bank that for my next social check, or for my next command check in this regard. I won't hide it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Sounds good. Anything else you'd like to do? You have.
I have my
You're
free
in
movement.
water. You have your free movement plus you have a free action.
The action I took was to ready my katana.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember you said.
But
you
I
drew your
will do
weapon.
my movement to step up in basically off to the side of Gen to intercept anyone coming up to her, and getting ready to move forward to cover Utaku's pulling back action.
You got it. All right. Sounds good. Moving on to the next, we have Utaku Tomo, who has heard the command, and she is going to take a movement action of her own. Okay. So Tomo kind of wheels her horse and puts her heels into the flanks, and they get 3 successes on the roll, and then 3 bonus successes from the steed. And that will get them a total of 6. And so you get 2 range bands for meeting the TN of 2. Although down here it's a TN of 1. I should just state that that's fair because of the game trail that you put in with the open terrain. And so it's 2 range bands for 1, and then 1 additional range band for every 2 bonus successes from there on out, which will let them move 4 range bands, which is a goodly number, with Hayate ready to stick and stab anyone who kind of tries to come up behind them with his Yari. They get 1 opportunity, and they are going to use it to effectively get no strife on that check. And then they will move 1 range band, and then move another range band with both the free movement and the free water action. So yeah, they try to put as much distance as they can between the Outriders and themselves. That moves us to the next in the initiative, which is Sueno.
What Sueno would like to do is take her free action and her unrolled water action to pull up alongside Doji Gen. And then she would like to shoot at the melee Outriders. We're just recently surrounding Tomo and Hayate.
Got it.
Okay.
That'll be a TN2 range martial arts check. They're at range 3 still.
Okay. I roll it. I get 1 success, 1 strife, and 2 opportunities, so I don't hit. But I would like to use those 2 opportunities to use my technique, my kata staggering shot. If you have 2 water or air opportunities, I'm in water, your target has to consider their terrain to be entangling until the end of my next turn.
Got it. So Sueno fires, and the arrows don't necessarily hit home, but they do land at the hooves of the horses of the Outriders. It makes them rear up. It makes them kind of stamp their feet to kind of give a turn. As well trained as they are, they definitely just don't want to run headlong into a bunch of flying syrup sticks. So they'll be entangled for a turn, and that's excellent. I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Richi. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter at Churcher Games or on Twitch, also as Churcher Games. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kikita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kikita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.